Please welcome to the show, Randi Zuckerberg. Hello, dear.
Hi.
Welcome.
Wonderful to be here. Thank you. Been looking forward to this red chair.
Well, thank you. It's a lovely red chair. The dress works in that red chair.
Thank you.
So was the idea for you, there are so many people overwhelmed by this concept that you just had to kind of break it down?
Absolutely. In fact, I feel like I have a very complicated relationship with technology, so if even I have one, I couldn't imagine how other people were feeling with the overwhelming nature of tech.
How's it complicated for you?
So many reasons. So first of all, I came to Silicon Valley as a total outsider. I wasn't an engineer, which was already a strike against me. Two, as a woman, I mean, you can really count on your hands the women in visible positions in Silicon Valley. And then the last name Zuckerberg, I felt like I had this triple bullseye on my back. I led all these really high-profile projects for Facebook, but I felt like no matter what I did, people always just said, oh, that's Mark Zuckerberg's sister.
The thing that I like about my favorite thing about what Facebook did is, and I don't love all the privacy stuff, but I love the fact that it's real names. Mm-hmm. And that's supposed to change how people behave.
I write about that so much in my book. I'm so against anonymity online. And now, I know that anonymity has to exist in certain places where you don't have the political freedom to speak, where there's extreme circumstances, but I just think when you can hide behind a pseudonym, hide behind anonymity, people just say the most hateful, cruel things.
I bet you wish you had an anonymous profile when you sent a couple of tweets out over the years, right?
There have definitely been a few things that I've said that I've been like, words, go back in. But, you know, I mean, now you say things and you've released it to the peanut gallery of millions of people.
I loved when you gave the bouncer grief when you tweeted at a bouncer for giving he didn't let you in the club.
That was the worst thing ever. So
You called him out. You thought you were in a good space, right?
Yeah, well, I was like, let me use this brand new site called Twitter that everyone's talking about. It was like so new at that time. I was like, I'm just gonna tweet this thing. And then suddenly it was big news. And I was just like, oh my gosh, our voices carry weight. All of our voices carry weight.
You didn't think of that before? I mean, you're Randi Zuckerberg and Facebook, and you didn't think that on Twitter that this was gonna happen?
I mean, I was like a couple drinks in, let's get real. I was like Chinatown, I was with my girlfriends, I was pissed. I was like, we got rejected from a bar? We're cool, how can we get rejected?
Why did you get rejected from the bar?
Because we were not cool, we just thought we were.
Did you see the Social Network, did you see it?
I did.
Can I ask you a question, and you explain this to me only because you were there. It appears that there were almost no women involved at all. Social Network cut out almost the entire female contribution to the business. Is that accurate?
Well, gosh, there's not much that is accurate about that movie, I would say, but I mean...
Was it started because you was pissed off at that girl? Was that real?
No, not at all. He's been in the same committed relationship for like 8-10 years now. But, you know, why let the truth get in the way of a good Hollywood story?
Fair enough. Yeah. So were there women, like, actually, because I was thinking about leaning in and Sandberg, I'm thinking about all this and your role and the more research I did on you, I'm trying to figure out why does that movie have no women in that film?
Well, the founding team was a group of guys, so to that extent, it is accurate. I think as time went on, they quickly realized that it was beneficial to the company to have strong women leadership in place, too. But I think the movie really focuses on kind of those early Harvard days, which, by the way, Harvard was not as cool as that, I have to say. It was pretty cool, but like nowhere near as glamorous as they made it out to be in that movie.
When you put 9 Inch Nails music behind anything, it sounds awesome.
That's true, it sounds cool, you're right.
It sounds absolutely cool. So there's this moment where everybody just kind of blindly accepted what they put online, and our expectation of privacy has clearly changed. Where you started to see a little bit of resistance was when people were realizing that so many organizations were actually working with the NSA and working on spying on people, and some of the spying seemed illegal, and that changed people's perspective of what they accepted. Do you think corporations have a responsibility to protect their users or play ball with the government?
Gosh, that is way above my pay grade, that question. I think it's a little bit of both. There are some areas where it's really necessary to go along with the government, such as when you're going after a child predator online. I, as a mom, would want to know that these services were cooperating with the government and cooperating with law enforcement. On the other hand, I think in certain situations around the world, for example, there were a lot of situations such as an Arab Spring where a lot of countries were trying to demand data from Silicon Valley companies. And in that case, you wouldn't want a tech company cooperating with the government. So I think it goes both ways, and it really depends on the situation.
And do you think that there will be a consensus, some sort of charter that companies are going to have to, because I look at these gigantic companies who have such incredible tax breaks for the most part and have so much data and data mining that we, the people, at some point have to say we want social networking in whatever it is because it's improved our life in a lot of ways. But we usually just accept that people have our best interests in mind. And we're at that place now where there's a lot of distrust with who's really representing our interests. So what do we do as a consumer?
I think it depends what you mean by distrust, though, because these are voluntary free services. People could leave. They could leave at any time, but you're looking at Facebook has over 1 billion people. Twitter has hundreds of millions of people. People don't seem to be leaving these sites. So people seem to at least be getting more comfortable with the idea that we're sharing more and more.
A pleasure to see you. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Thanks
so much.
Randi Zuckerberg. The book is called Complicated, Untangling Our Wired Lives. We'll be right back. Thank you for that.